When you see properly milled wood, it's a beautiful thing. And once you get to the point where you're doing your own milling, gosh, it's super fulfilling. I remember the very first time that I started milling my own wood, I was like, oh man, like you can really just see the wood go from rough sawn down to just a little bit less rough sawn. And then finally you get to the point where you got this beautiful surface and all the grain really shows through. Gosh, it's really a special thing. Hey everyone, I'm Jay. Welcome back to our channel. We do videos here about woodworking. And today I want to talk to you about a joiner. This is the Cutech 6-inch benchtop joiner made in Taiwan. And it's a joiner now that I've had for over a year. And I gotta say, it's a great joiner. It's really a great little joiner to have. If you're looking for your first joiner, or even if you're someone that's been doing woodworking for a while and just want a compact joiner, this might be one for you to consider. Like I said, I've had this now for well over a year and I got it used and it has been a real treat to have this whole time. Now you can buy these new. The new 6-inch versions actually have a coated top that has a black coating that gives it a little bit more slick. This one is just machined aluminum and I do have to put wax on it to keep the glide going. And that's the nice thing. You can use wax or you can use any of that glide coat stuff and just help to give it smoothness as you're pushing your material through. Maintenance overall has been very simple and really easy to use. You may look at this, you may think, oh, that looks like a lot of the different versions of the joiners that I see out in the marketplace. And that's probably because Cutech is the company that's making them for other companies. They make the different models for different companies. And if you look at some of the ones out there, you'll see that the controls and everything is pretty much the same. Here you're buying directly from the manufacturer and usually get it for a little bit better price. Right now in 2026, this is going for $319, which is a pretty good deal. I mean, I bought this used well over a year ago for like $250, so you're really getting good value for your money. So as you can imagine, since I paid for it, this is not a sponsored video. I do not get any of the tools for free. None of the manufacturers have sent me any tools. I have to pay for them out of my own pockets. So everything that I'm telling you is really based on my experience paying the money for it and then using it over the past year. Since it is a benchtop joiner, weight is going to be something to consider because a lot of people that get this will be using it in a way where they're going to store it somewhere and then move it into position when they want to do some joining. Maybe they put it on the floor, perhaps they put it on the bench top. But either way, if you're going to move it, just want to know that it's 37.3 pounds. So it's not terribly light, but it's also not terribly heavy. So it's a very comfortable weight to carry. The tables are 30 inches long, so it's not terrible to lift up and maneuver around your shop. So why did I buy this joiner? I bought this joiner because I wanted to get into joining boards. Now there's many different ways of joining boards. For a lot of people, you build jigs for their table saw, build jigs for the planer, and a lot of people will tell you to buy the planer first. I'm not going to get into which one you should buy first. That's up to you. But I do think that it's important to get a joiner. I liked having a joiner. I wanted to get a joiner because I wanted to really work on boards. And I also wanted to make sure that I learned all of the different techniques that are involved in woodworking so that when it came time to go to other shops or work elsewhere, I'd be able to have that kind of knowledge and experience in order to take that with me. But let's talk about some of the features that are available on this Cutech 6-inch. Now, the thing about the 30 inches is that you don't really want boards that are going to exceed this. So if you're talking about milling 6-foot boards or longer, that could be a little bit of an issue. So you got to be a little bit careful. Even recently when I was milling 34-inch boards, I was actually having a little bit of problem keeping it level. So once you get to longer boards, then you lose contact with the table so you can actually shift it unevenly as you're milling. So do be careful with that. Light, gentle passes is going to be the best way to run with these tables. You can also use like roller stands to give you additional support if you want to go longer boards. Just be sure to take it easy and not get too long because when you get really long, it just gets out of balance. Cutech on the larger sizes, they have 8-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch models, do offer those larger models with cast iron tops. I haven't found a lot of issues with using the aluminum, but I also don't have a cast iron top joiner, so I don't know the difference. There's an aluminum fence on here that's really easy to adjust the squareness. You just kind of take your Allen key and adjust these knobs here. Some people have said that there is deflection. I don't really, you can get a little bit of deflection, like there we go. If you really push on it, when you're actually working with the fence, you don't really want to jam up against it. You just kind of want to do light, easy passes on it. Light, easy passes is going to be the key to not having deflection issues with this joiner. Now on the back of the fence here, we've got this one screw here. You loosen that, and then you can adjust the depth of cut, and then this other lock, unlock that, and now you can adjust the angle of your fence. And it comes back square. Check it. Oh yeah, see, that's a little bit off. Also on top of the table is the blade guard. This actually just moves out of the way. It's a kidney-shaped guard. As you push your material through it, it pushes it open and exposes the spiral cutter heads below. What that means is that it's got these tungsten carbide tips on it, and these particular ones are two-bladed tips that can be rotated as they wear or as they get damaged, and you don't have to replace all of them at one time. You can just replace or twist or turn each one individually. Now, why they're called spiral is because if you look at the head, each of these cutters is offset from the other in a pattern that cuts it in a spiral motion as you push the wood through it. The difference between that and helical heads is that the helicals also have that spiral pattern. They typically tend to be a lot more cutters and tighter spacing together so that the cutting edge cuts at an angle, even though that doesn't have those features. The spiral head actually cuts really well and also reduces the amount of noise that the joiner makes. This particular joiner I rated at 88 decibels, but compared to other machines like DeWalt 735 at like 96 decibels, it's a lot quieter. Doesn't mean I'm not going to wear hearing protection, but it is a little bit better. Since we're on the front panel, we've got a couple other things here to look at. There's the power switch, which is basically an on and off switch. Pull it up to turn it on, turn it off, push it down, and this yellow piece comes out, and this is the safety lock. So if you want to prevent the machine from being operated, pull this out and it will not turn on. Put it back in, and that will actuate the mechanism. We have the depth of cut gauge that shows you just how far deep you're going to be cutting down. This is actually a representation of the infeed side of the bed, which actually will lower and raise depending on how much you turn this knob. Right, so we can drop it down quite a bit and then lock it into place. This lock prevents the table from drifting while you're doing the cutting because there is quite a bit of vibration that's happening during the cut while the motor is running. So you just got to lock that down and it doesn't move. I've never had it drift in the time that I've used it. They say that this will have a 1/8 inch depth capacity. I've never done that. I've only kept it to about 1/32 or less. Sometimes on softwoods, I might go to 1/16. So I'll just bring it up here. There is 1/32. I guess I'm at more like 1/64. Lock that in, and then I'll push the material through the joiner at that depth and just do it multiple times. Now, the larger floor-mounted, heavy-duty horsepower joiners will beat this machine in that you can put bigger stock, heavier stock, take deeper cuts, but you're talking about a machine that's going to take up a lot more space, as well as cost you quite a bit more money, where this is a little bit of compromise. But I have found in the year that I've used it, and I've been building mostly furniture, some shop projects, and this has worked really, really well for me. And I've been taking stuff from rough sawn all the way to finished S4S lumber with this as one of the tools that I use, and it's been really, really great. Now, if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting the channel by buying coffee. I sell coffee in my day job, so that's what we offer here. Sprocoffee.com. We've got all kinds of coffees. Really nice coffees for you to enjoy. And here's what the best thing is, that you're buying coffee for yourself. You're getting something that you can enjoy in your own wood shop whenever you want. And by doing that, you help make me a salary and I can continue making videos. So it's just you having your own personal hedonism with coffee. So if you like what we do, consider that. Sprocoffee.com. And let's get back to it. Some of the other features on it is, if we turn to this way, there is the dust collection. As you can see here, this is a 2.5 inch dust collection port. I just plug a shop vac hose into it and it sucks it all out. I've got a rigid 16-gallon shop vac and it works great. What you don't want to do is run it without any kind of dust collection. Then it starts to clog and everything gets really haywire. And once it really fills in here, it starts to blow out the top. You're getting these shavings everywhere. And then in order to clear it out, you actually have to unscrew these screws, take this nozzle off, and then dig it all out. And it really does compact in there. I did it one time without it just to see what it was like, mainly because one of the sawyers I work with, they've got a big 16-inch Delta joiner and just kind of spews out the bottom. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Let me see if I can do that with this one. And that was a total disaster. Don't do that. While this is a portable benchtop joiner, I did mount it on a cart. I built this cart out of salvage plywood, and I wanted to have something so that I would have it be able to move around the shop. I could lock it down. I've got double locking casters on the bottom. As you can see here, the table is about 8.5 inches. If I put this on my regular workbench, which I have at 36 inches, I'm going to be working like this. I don't really want to work like this. I want to work at a good level, kind of close to the waist. Right now I'm holding boards. I don't want to be holding it up like this. I want to be holding it more like this. I built the cart so that this tabletop will be even with all of the other workbenches in the shop. I can now use this auxiliary bench as an outfeed table. That's one nice thing about building your own carts, is that you can set the heights to whatever you need to make it as comfortable as you want. Now, I'm not going to go into how to use the joiner. That's a topic for another video. There's a lot of other videos out there that'll show you exactly how to use a joiner, and those guys are probably better explaining it than I am. We've pretty much covered everything that's great about this little benchtop joiner, but where's the limitations? Where does it fall down? If you're thinking about this joiner, you might want to consider, some people don't like that this does not have a cast iron top. I have not found that to be a problem. Some people don't like that this is not a cast iron fence. However, Cutech does sell an additional cast iron fence, so you can buy that and attach it to this and you should be golden. Another limitation is going to be the 30-inch table, right? There's only 30 inches. Like, you don't really want to go to like 90 inches. You can keep it down to 30 inches or so. You should get good results. 6 feet, it's going to start to get to be a little bit wobbly, so you want to be a lot more careful as you're doing your milling. Really pay attention to how you're pushing the piece through, and also how much pressure you're putting where, because sometimes you put too much pressure on the front and then you end up with your board being 2 millimeters thinner on one end than the other. So be careful with that. Now, outside of that, I don't really have any other issues to think about with this jointer. I think it's been a really great buy. I've had it now for well over a year. I've really enjoyed using it. I feel that it's an essential tool for the wood shop. I know a lot of other people out there are saying that, oh, you don't need it, you can just get away with other things. I don't want to get away with something else. I want to actually be able to use a joiner. I don't have to worry about trying to make it work on something else. I can just take it to my joiner and I'm golden. So that's something that I really encourage you to consider. And the nice thing about this is that the Cutech at $320 really makes it quite affordable. Now, here's the thing, 6 inches. Now, most people do start with 6-inch joiners, and I did, and I gotta say that within about 6 months, I started to feel like, I wish I had a bigger joiner. I didn't want to have to cut down all the boards to 6 inches and under. I've got a 13-inch planer. I want to go wider, right? I want something wider. So I really was thinking I would like to go to 10 inches or 12 inches, depending if I can find one at a good price. And actually recently I did come across a wider joiner that I was able to pick up for a very good price. And that's going to be the joiner to replace this 6-inch Cutech. It's also a Cutech. It's the Cutech 8-inch with the black tables. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to get this video out, because I wanted to give you this review. But if you're interested in thinking about getting the Cutech 6-inch, this is a great buy. I think it's really a great value. I don't have any hesitation recommending it. So I hope this helps, and see you next time.